to what the executive brings before it. In other words, the Minister of Justice, who is the Honorable Vice President of Zimbabwe, will bring to Parliament his proposals regarding what the executive would like to see as the law in the country, and that becomes the subject of debate. And that is what becomes debate, part of the debate in Parliament. I must say that the position that we have in the Constitution is somewhat an improvement on the position that we had in the past. The thing that we must kill is the death penalty and not people. In the democratic country that we are working on building, killing people is definitely something that we would not like to be seeing. It's primitive. It doesn't. It's brutal. It brutalizes the judge who makes that decision. Fortunately, the ambit of that decision is somewhat circumscribed now, as Advocate Mahere has demonstrated in the new Constitution. Although it is also considered discriminatory in that it doesn't apply to women, but applies only to men within a certain age range. But when we look backwards, we can say that we've moved a bit from an area where in certain circumstances it was mandatory. But now we've shifted somewhat. And we must also take pride in the sense that we're in a situation where we have a moratorium, where we are not executing a court. And it's really, this is why I feel that we really did not exhaust the debate in order to ensure that we coalesce around this issue and convince the entirety of the country around it, to ensure that we convince people in the category of the individual I'm talking about that it is not the right thing to say that when you are injured you must retribute and say that that individual must be killed. I have a feeling that during the constitution making process, I'm now moving to the second question, that maybe the constitution making process was more focused on political issues, and that issues such as the one we are discussing were really not the point of focus. And I think that we now need to pull them out of the constitution and focus on them and discuss them as deeply as possible and come to agreement on them.
Thank you very much.
Chair, and that which gave me a voice in Parliament, and I'm glad the committee members, such as Honorable just said, others, agree that when the Criminal Procedure and Evidence Amendment Bill was brought to us, as Honorable Chassis says, it's our executive, whether we like it or not. The fact is, it's the executive that drives legislation. I could hear Advocate Mahere bemoaning how Parliament is lethargic. Far from it, Parliament is not lethargic at all. We've like moves like this and other moves. The executive in the, I think it's a Criminal Codification and Law Reform Bill, not the Criminal Procedure and Evidence Amendment Bill. It brought to us a bill that, out of the blue, quite gratuitously decided to try to bring back the death penalty through the back door. The process that was happening was officially to, I don't like this term, to align the law to the Constitution, which I think is problematic because the Constitution is the law, it is the supreme law. But anyway, so they sought to try and spell out the circumstances under which that can be defined as aggravated murder. But the Constitution is very clear, it provides that Parliament may, if it decides so, by law, may decide to allow it in certain circumstances. Clearly, our view as a committee, and we agreed on this, was that the kind of law that was being contemplated to possibly be contemplated by Parliament, if it ever decided, was not through an amendment, one of the many amendments, like in small print hidden in the criminal code. It wasn't that. Clearly, it seemed that the makers of the Constitution required Parliament to take some time and really think about it. That is, if it ever came to, became relevant, and really apply its minds and take its time and debate and research, and because, and really take its time, not to just do this as a little note in another bill. So what we did there was that in the committee's report, we did indicate that that the bill must be amended to withdraw that bit so that it doesn't talk about the death penalty. And that was not in the ending debate. The Honourable Minister, who is the Vice President, didn't accept the committee's recommendations as far as that is concerned. But that was not the end of the road, because I decided that at the committee stage, because ministers have a lot of power, if they agree and they decide to amend their bills, then it's done. But if they don't, there's one more chance that a member of Parliament has at an individual level. You can propose amendments to a bill at the very last stage of passing bills, the committee stage. So I decided to propose, to not give up, and still propose that we, because that will be put to the House, where Parliament goes through a bill clause by clause by clause, to do the same thing. But it didn't succeed because, well, our Parliament is it's a parliament, it's a theatre and an arena of party politics. Political parties, unfortunately, that's the way we do it. That's the truth, we might do, but that's the way it is. We will take positions in Parliament generally according to what our party decides or doesn't decide. And so I come from a party that is a very, very, very small minority of the Parliament. I couldn't muster support in the party that I come from because we actually then vote, so that's why we didn't succeed, in short. But the reality is we have a whipping system in our Parliament that we use. In terms of the Constitution, if a member of Parliament loses the favour of their political party simply writes a little note to the Speaker to advise them that this person is no longer a member of our party, and then the Member of Parliament packs whatever is in their pigeonhole and they go home. So, so that means a member of Parliament is obliged to take their party position, or they can decide that they will take what they'll take and take the rest. But so, if they want to be in Parliament, they'll take their party position. And I say this because I think it's important that we understand that party politics are really important. If we want to lobby changes in mindsets and so on, we have to lobby and advocate it with the people. With everybody, the people who really matter, the people who make decisions and who influence. We must influence where influence is needed so that we all, pull together.
For these and other stories, visit our website www.263chat.com. Follow us on Twitter @263chat and like our Facebook page 263chat.